Well, Happy New Year, y'all. Welcome to Walk It Out Wednesdays. And for those of you who may be new to me, I am Toria Reneé, known to all my journey walkers as Coach T. I am your women's empowerment coach, and I created this midweek chat just so we could share encouraging words that would help you walk out your journey to a better you. And hopefully, by God's grace, we get better at that walk. Okay? So, I took the month of January off to realign myself with God's purpose and plan for my life. And I realized that we really need to have a real conversation about something that I believe is fundamental for all of us, whether we are single, dating, not dating, married, all of us holistically. And that is God's blueprint for loving ourselves. So, over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be talking a lot about um, loving yourself through God's eyes and truly understanding what that looks like. Okay. So, we're going to start with or focus on the fact that God never meant for others to be our source. Okay. The goal here is to help us learn how to shift from external dependency to like a God centered self responsibility. Okay. So, generally speaking, most of us love ourselves, right? But I think we've kind of learned to outsource the care of ourselves to others. People like, our partners, our friends, our family, and even work. And when they don't show up the way that we expect them to, we start to feel neglected, like we feel a way about that. When in reality, we've never really learned how to meet some of those needs ourselves, right? God already equipped us with everything we needed to care and nurture and tend to ourselves under his guidance, right? So here are three truths about God's blueprint for loving ourselves. Number one, people are assigned roles in our lives, not responsibility for our wholeness, though. God uses people to support us. Yes, that is true, but not to sustain us. So when we make people our source of sustainment, right, we're going to be disappointed every time because you need to understand that they didn't fail you. The truth is that you're asking them to do something that only God can do. Additionally, there are some times that we are expecting people to show up in ways that they just honestly don't have the capacity for. And we need to know the difference. Number two, emotional dependency often hides behind the word love. Wanting connection is healthy. Needing someone else to regulate your emotions or validate your worth or stabilize your identity is not healthy. God's design is interdependence, not dependence or codependence. Okay? Know that. Root systems matter more than visible fruit. Here's an example. A tree doesn't survive the drought because of who's around it. It survives the drought because of how deep its roots are going into the ground. Likewise, your peace shouldn't be dependent on who shows up for you. It should be rooted in God. Jeremiah 17:7-8 says it best. It says this: Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord. They will be like a tree planted by the waters that sends out its roots by the stream. So, what that really looks like is this: when you expect people to be your source, you are unintentionally overburdening the relationships that you have. And this is going to create unnecessary pressure, imbalance, and a resentment on both sides, which actually causes us to negate the connection to our consistent source, which is God. So here's what I want you to ponder on this week. Who or what have you been expecting to keep you emotionally full? If the answer to that question alarms you, then you probably need to be working with a coach that can help you develop a self-stewardship plan. That is me. Consider me. I am your women's empowerment coach. So inbox the word self and I will send you a coaching invitation. This has been Walk It Out Wednesdays with Coach T. Tune in next Wednesday for week 2 of God's Blueprint for Loving Yourself. Until then, I am the Coach T. Keep walking and just be you.